Yeah, hello students. Good evening, everybody. So myself, Shiva Prasad. So from today onwards, I'm starting with the current affairs part of environment, science and technology, and cyber security related things like this. Whatever the current affairs parts are there, I will take a daily paper related current affairs, and I will try to discuss it. Students who are interested in joining into my classes, please click on bell icon and join into my YouTube channel, students. So this is what my mobile app. So with this mobile app, and I'm going to start with the classes related to science and technology, ecology and environment, Next one is cyber security. Next one is disaster management. Geography related topics. Okay, NCRT related geography. So these are all the topics what I will cover in the classes, students, through my mobile app, that is Pragyan IAS. You can download it from the Play Store. And all these topics currently I'm going to launch. Already ecology and environment classes have been scheduled. From November 1st onwards, I'm going to start these classes. Those who are interested, you can join into my classes, students. So in my mobile app, there is a column known as a store. Go to the store and you can find my course link of ecology and environment. So you can click on that, you can join into that. So in this YouTube session, students, not only paper based related current affairs, I will also cover this Yojana and Kurukshetra magazines. So whatever the topics that is required for the UPSC civil service examination, I will cover in these YouTube sessions. And after following my classes, if you are confident enough, then you can think of joining into my classes. Okay, now all I need you, everybody in the class, click on bell icon and subscribe into my YouTube channel. And see this, friends. Today's topic is regarding to climate financing. So this is what there in the newspaper today. And UNFCCC. So climate financing is one of the important topic. So which is continuously in the news. Whenever there is a meetings related to the climate change, so we come across these climate financings. So is climate financing is that much important, students? Yes, no doubt in that. So why this climate financing is required? So are we doing climate change? Are we making this climate change like a business activity? Means no doubt in that. If you see from the point of view of economic terms, it will be like a business only. Okay, now, but sometimes these economical terms and conditions will work out. Okay, now, so why actually it is required? So if you may know that, students, all the developed countries are producing more greenhouse gas emissions, lot of greenhouse gas emissions. But who are facing the effects? Developing countries are facing the effects. So always there is a confrontation between developed and the developing countries. So what confrontations are there? What type of confrontations? For what purpose they are confronting each other? So developed countries are producing more greenhouse gas emissions, and consequences are faced by these developing countries like India like countries. So always these developing countries will raise the finger against these developed countries to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. So all of a sudden manner, they cannot do that, because reducing of greenhouse gas emissions means reducing the fossil fuel combustion. If the fossil fuel combustion has been reduced, so particular countries' economies cannot sustain, students. So if the US economy is affected, whole world's economy will be affected, because dollar is the basis for international market. So in this, if you see from the point of view of economics, so a lot of problems are there. To overcome all these problems, so all the environmental scientists in the world came to the conclusion, means accepted for a term, climate finance. And is this climate financing is a new topic, students? Is it a new topic? No. So what actually this green financing or climate finance means? There are different technologies related to these ones. So it may be of green finance. So we can use terminology that is green finance we can use, sustainable finance we can use. Okay, na? Like this. Climate finance we can use. We can use a term called climate finance. Just a minute. Climate finance we can use like this. So like this, many things are there, ones. And all these are related to the environment, social and economic and governance related things. So what actually this climate financing initiative means? So climate financing means, it refers to what means local. So it will be of local and international things are there, students. Locally, climate financings are there. Nationally, climate financings are there. Internationally, climate financings are there, students. Yes. So what is this local things? What are the types of this local? What is the type of national? What is the type of international financings? In what way they use this, all these things? So we'll come across all those things. And this is no doubt that climate financing will be like a win-win situation for both developed as well as developing countries. Okay, na? And the scientists strongly believe that this climate financing will solve many problems. Many, see, we can come out of this many, what we call lock-up situations. So what is this lock-up situations means? For some policies, some countries in the world will accept, but some other countries doesn't accept students. So when these climate financings kind of things are there, these kind of tools are there. So we can, what we can do is, we can bring out from those kind of situations. Means we can bring all the countries into a single platform with a single mind, means single thought. Okay, now like Paris Agreement, where almost all the countries in the world have been accepted that. So like such kind of things has to be happen, means some monetary benefits should be there. Okay, now, so hence I used a term called win-win situations. So what are the different types of climate financing initiatives? So for what are the different types of climate financing we have implemented funds? If you see, this first one is global environmental facilities have been introduced. This is one type of climate financing. So it includes multilateral bodies of government, civic societies, banks, many financial mechanisms under UNFCCC funds. So every climate financing initiatives, remember that I don't need to mention separately. every climate financing initiatives will be implemented under UNFCCC only. It will be implemented under UNFCCC only, students, not any other thing. Okay, the Green Climate Fund is one of the initiative. Carbon taxes and cesses are one of the initiatives, friends. Clean developmental mechanism is one of the initiative. Joint implementation is one of the initiative. Perform achieve trade is one of the initiative. Climate bond initiating green bonds. Many things are there like this. All these things currently it is initiative. All these initiatives currently they are implementing across the world. So in all these climate financial initiatives, funds will be transferred from developed to the developing countries. Developed to developing countries. So any historical background regarding this? Yes. There is an historical background regarding this. See these students. So first in Cancun Agreement, which was held in the 2010, that we can call it as a Cancun Summits. So they have set a goal of mobilizing $100 billion per year, students, by 2020. So see for what purpose they want to transfer these funds? So address the needs of developing countries. What needs? As I told you that developed countries are producing more greenhouse gas emissions. Developing countries are facing that effects. Okay, now to overcome the effects on the developing countries, so these funds will be utilized or useful. Okay, now the next one is Green Climate Fund, students. This Green Climate Fund was established in the Cancun Agreement in 2011 only. It is also a financial mechanism, students. Next one is if you see Paris Agreement in 2015. So this Paris Agreement in 2015, students, the goal of this Paris Agreement is also transferring of $100 billion per year. Can I like this, sir? So right from the Cancun Agreement in 2010 to the Paris Agreement in 2015. So like this, we are focusing on different climate related initiatives. Climate related initiatives, and we are doing that actually. Actually, we are doing everything related to that. Are you getting it? Yes. And next one is, so this, what is the role of these green finances? So for what purpose we are implementing this green finances? As I told you that climate finance, green finance, all these terminologies are similar in nature. There is no much difference between those terminologies. And first one is, if you see, major role of green financing is, major role is what means? Providing finances for what? Environmental goods and services. What this environmental goods and services means? Water management services, protection of biodiversity, landscape. And next one is to prevent, minimize, compensate damages to the environment and climate storms. To finance, to provide financing of public policies, which will encourage the implementation of environmental damage mitigation, adaptation projects and initiatives. So do India really need this climate finances? Yes, students. So as a part of this series climate financings, or as a part of this global warming and climate change, you know that India has set a target by 2050. We want to make India as a carbon neutral country. Carbon neutral country, students. So to achieve this target, we need finances. So with the help of these finances, India will perform research and development, and we will develop green technologies. With that green technologies, we will reduce the carbon dioxide emissions within India. So even though developed countries are producing more carbon dioxide emissions, India-like countries are reducing the carbon dioxide emissions. So these both will balance out each other's works. Ultimately, a rise of global temperatures across the globe on an average below 2 degrees Celsius or 1.5 degrees Celsius, we can maintain it. We can maintain it like that. Okay, now on one way, India is benefited. How India is benefited means for research and development purpose, we are getting funds. And from the point of view of India, Indian government is unable to invest such a huge amount of money in research and development. You know that in India, most of the investment will go for the social sector schemes only because of huge population. So this is one of the helping hand kind of initiatives funds, especially regarding to the climate resilient technologies. With all these funds, what India want to do is, okay, now India want to develop climate resilient technologies. Means climate friendly technologies funds. Okay, now that is what we are doing as a part of this. Other than these funds, we don't have technology in India, especially renewable energy, solar energy technology like that. And to develop on our own, it will take a lot of time. Hence, we can transfer a technology from one country to other countries. And they can count it in the monetary terms like that. And see, this green investment majorly includes what? Green financing, that climate financings. So say it was given a target of $100 billion. Do they transfer in the form of money? No, students. So developed countries may invest in any of these forms. Transfer of clean technologies is also accountable under this green finance instruments. Waste processing and recyclings. Waste processing as well as recyclings. Biodiversity protection. Climate change adaptation. Renewable energies. Energy efficiency. Water sanitation. Industrial pollution control. Other climate change mitigations. For all these related sectors, they may transfer the technology or they may provide the funds. Anything can be done. But ultimately, the total cost should be equal to $100 billion. Okay, now. And in Kankan Summit itself, they have given a target of 2020 students, but the target was already crossed and it went up to 2025 students. Okay, we have to see that at least this target will be completed by 2025. So these are the climate finances students and different types of climate finances what we are implementing. Coming to this today's newspaper, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development so has raised some issues students. So see this, what developed countries are doing is they are transferring the money to the developing countries, no doubt in that. And they are transferring in different forms funds. Means transferring in different forms means what actually? See, if you say this USA will transfer money to India regarding to health sector, regarding to the education sector, and in some other sector, they will transfer money like this. The problem here is when USA is giving funds to the health sector, when USA is giving fund to the education sector, all these funds, what they are providing to India, they are counting under the climate finance. Okay, now actually they should not count it. So any charity when we are getting from USA regarding to these two sectors, they are counting under these green climate funds. So if they are counting like this, what happens means the purpose of fund will be breached. Okay, and actually whatever the purpose we have established that climate funds, climate financing, objective of the climate financing will be means there is no relevance for that. Okay, now that is the major problem what we are facing. And one more thing is, if you take US will promise that they will transfer this much of money for this year like that. And US has reached this whatever they have given the word. Means we cannot, means they have broken the promises once. Several times they have broken the promises. You may expect that, sir, is there any legal sanctity for this climate financings. That is the problem here. If there is a legal sanctity, if there is a legality, then every country will be under the pressure. They have to follow the rules and regulations, and they have to transfer the funds. These broken promises won't be there at the, so when there is a legality of legal issues. So that is one thing, and they have to transfer voluntarily students. That too. So US itself is unable to sustain its promises. This is one of the major problem what we are facing, and they are giving predictions that almost they have reached up to the 80% of the funds transfer, climate finance transfer, and developed countries are expecting that by 2025 the original target will be reached. But in this 80% of the funds, what they have transferred students, if you see exactly what the funds are, half of the funds, 50% of the funds belongs to the health sector as well as other education sector when it comes into the point of view of India's funds. That is the problem here. So they are transferring the funds, but whatever the purpose that was established, climate financing, that purpose was not perfectly implementing students. That is the problem here regarding to this climate financings. So this climate financing, whenever we are talking about this climate change meetings, students, not only COP26. In COP26, they are focusing more on the climate financing. Why they are focusing more means, so they want to bring transparency in climate financings. Until now, there is no transparency at all. So to bring this transparency and to implement the objectives of this climate financing strongly, so this COP26 meetings has become a platform, students. And means as a part of this COP26 meetings, they want to put pressure on developed countries, all the developed countries, and in transferring of this climate financings to all the countries in different forms. So climate financing has different forms, students, but that particular form, what the money transferring, what they are transferring the money, that transfer of money method should fulfill the climate financing objectives. That is what they want to look after. That they means UNFCCC want to look after this. If this climate financing was perfectly implemented, so whatever the targets we have set, we can reach those targets perfectly, students. Means prior to this target, we can achieve that. Okay, now means exact term is early harvesting can be done, students. Early harvesting of schemes can be done. So this is what climate financing is. Like this, students, I want to explain the classes. I will take the classes, everything in the form of infographic systems. All the subjects I will take, students. If you really like the classes, go through my YouTube classes, click on bell icon, subscribe into my channel, students. And for all these subjects regarding to the UPSC civil services, it will be like a single stop. Okay, now each and everything thoroughly I will discuss, right from the NCRTs to the current affairs participants. I will provide the material. I will provide the tests, both prelims as well as mains. All these topics I will cover regarding to prelims as well as mains. And no doubt that these subjects are playing a key role. Okay, now so you can see this year question paper, students. You can know the percentage of the questions, number of questions. No doubt that these are unavoidable topics. Got it, students? Thank you very much. Try to follow my classes. Good night, students.